Okay, let's unpack this. We're taking a deep dive today into Deuteronomy, specifically chapter 26. Now, this isn't just, dry legal stuff. It gives us this really vivid picture. It shows how ancient Israel was, well, supposed to build community, remember where they came from, and think about blessings right as they were settling in.
That's exactly it. It's remarkable how practical their religious observance was meant to be. It's tied directly to their experience, their past journey, and their future life in this new land. And it kicks off right away with this powerful ritual for the first harvest.
Yeah, imagine it. You're finally there, wilderness behind you, first crop is in, it's ready, and the very first thing you do, it's not like plan your expansion.
No, it's about acknowledging the source first. Gather some of those first fruits, put them in a basket, take them to the central place the Lord chooses.
And you don't just drop it off. You hand it to the priest, sure, but then you have to make this public declaration. It's almost like a performance.
Precisely. You stand there and you actually say, I declare today that I have come to the land the Lord swore to our fathers to give us.
Hmm.
And then you basically recount your family's whole epic story.
Right, you trace it all back. My father was a wandering Aramean, going down to Egypt, just a few people.
Then becoming a nation, suffering oppression,
Mm.
crying out, being rescued with a mighty hand, and finally arriving here in this land, flowing with milk and honey.
Wow.
And you tie that whole journey to the basket right there. And now I bring the first fruits of the soil that you, O Lord, have given me.
So bringing your harvest is completely tied up with remembering the hard times, the liberation, the whole journey. It's not just celebrating having food, it's remembering how you got it, who gave it, then you put the basket down, you bow. It's gratitude and history wrapped together.
And it's communal, too. The command says, rejoice with the Levites who didn't own land and the aliens living among you, those without the same support system.
That inclusiveness really stands out. Okay, but it wasn't just a one-off thing at the first harvest, right? The chapter moves on.
Yes, to an ongoing practice. The third year tithe. Every third year was called the year of the tithe, a specific designation.
And this tithe, a tenth of all your produce that year, who was it for?
Not for the temple treasury primarily, or personal use. It was specifically for the Levite, the alien, the fatherless, and the widow. Basically the most vulnerable groups in their society at the time.
That's a pretty clear social welfare principle built right into the system. The text even says why. So that they may eat in your towns and be satisfied. It's direct support.
And again, there's another declaration when you give this tithe. You state, you've removed the sacred portion, given it as commanded, affirmed your obedience, I haven't turned aside, haven't forgotten. And you also declare you haven't used it improperly, like while mourning or unclean or for the dead, keeping it separate and sacred.
Right. Confirming you handled this share for the needy correctly, respectfully.
Exactly. So first fruits, initial gratitude, historical memory, third year tithe, ongoing social responsibility within the land.
And the chapter kind of gathers these specific actions up and says, right, do all this with all your heart and with all your soul.
Which then points directly to the covenant relationship. It describes these mutual declarations. Israel declares the Lord is their God, commits to his ways.
And in turn, the Lord declares Israel is his people, his treasured possession, set apart, holy.
So, yeah, Deuteronomy 26 is much more than agricultural rules. It's this profound blueprint, linking receiving blessings directly to remembering the past, acknowledging God's provision, caring for the vulnerable, and cementing their identity.
What really gets me is that connection. Prosperity isn't just about your own effort. It's fundamentally linked to gratitude, remembering history, and this non-negotiable duty to share with the community, especially those who need it most.
It's receiving, but immediately channeling it. Outwards in sharing, backwards in remembrance. Looking at this now, from our modern viewpoint, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? And our culture often focused on individual gain. How might these ancient ideas mandated remembrance, required sharing challenge how we think about prosperity and, well, our obligations to each other?